Welcome to European Railway issue number 82, the DVD magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this programme we travel to France to look at BB 26,000 locos at work south of Paris. Part 1 of our study of trains and traction on the main line between Würzburg and Ansbach in Germany. A trip to Slovakia for some rural line action north of Zvolen. Call into Hungary to witness passenger and freight services on a main route east of Budapest. And finally to Switzerland, where we have steam and electric narrow gauge traction at work on the Matterhorn-Gotthard and the Vrútky pass line. We begin in France, where the amount of loco-hauled passenger workings are diminishing almost by the day. One locomotive class that have been and still are the stalwarts of current day operations are the BB 26,000 Civic electrics. In this section we look at the Paris to Nevers and Clermont-Ferrand mainline, where they are still common on express passenger services. Our maps show the various locations visited on our journey south. We begin just to the south of Montargis on the morning of the 19th of September 2018, as 26039 pierces the darkness with its headlights whilst working the 552 from Nevers to Paris-Bercy. Another long telephoto lens shot next of 26014, seen southeast of the village of Solterre. The slight camera wobble was the result of a bumblebee flying into the cameraman's face. More shock than anything else. The train in question is the 624 from Nevers to Paris. The BB 26,000s also share their duties with BB 2200 on this route, which also work the occasional train. Heading south is number 26049 on the 658 Paris to Clermont-Ferrand. It is passed by 26155 working the 552 from Clermont-Ferrand. Our final shot from this crossing sees 26056 with the 7:15 Paris to Nevers. Having entered traffic on the 27th of August 1991, the loco is sporting the latest Clermont livery. Two kilometres to the south we see this view of 26026, hauling the 724 from Nevers to Paris, running around 10 minutes late. The line sees an irregular service pattern, with mornings and evenings the most busy, which matches up with commuter travelling. Heading south now, and we are on the Nevers side of Gien, not far from the village of Usson-sur-Loire. 26021 is powering the 830 from Clermont-Ferrand to Paris, a journey time of around 3.5 hours. Within seconds, 26051 Paris South, with the 901 from Paris to Clermont-Ferrand. There are around 13 Loco-hauled trains each way on this route every weekday. This is the old crossing keeper's house at Neuvy-sur-Loire, as 26056 returns from Nevers, hauling the 1022 from Nevers to Paris. 42 of the class have now been withdrawn from traffic, from the original 234 locos introduced between 1988 and 1998. Six minutes north of Nevers, we see 26046 in charge of the 1032 from Clermont-Ferrand to Paris, a journey of some 420 kilometres. Number 046 entered traffic on the 31st of May 1991. On our journey south we stopped off at Chézil, where we managed this picture of one of the Rhône-Alpes allocated B84-500 units, number 84633 on the 1412 from Moulins-sur-Allier to Vic-le-Comte. We continue our journey and to our last set of vantage points on the line between Vichy and Riom, not far from Clermont-Ferrand. Our location is just northeast of Tourret, as Regiolis unit number B84632 heads north with the 1516 stopping service from Vic-le-Comte to Moulins. This unit enters service on the 16th of November 2016. Just 8 minutes behind we see ECR's 66249 heading north light engine. The class work a good number of the freight trains seen around Clermont, especially the bottled water trains out of the Volvic plant west of Riom. Heading south is 26014, which we saw earlier. This time it is powering the 1301 departure from Paris, bound for Clermont-Ferrand. Moving a little further south, we see 26164. The fields around here are often planted with sunflowers, which give a superb yellow background to the trains if you're interested in photography and are around the area in the spring. A light rain shower changes the sky as Class 76500 unit number 76663 passes south, forming the 1429 Lyon to Clermont-Ferrand. Approaching from the south is unit number 84636, one of 12 of the type allocated to services in the Auvergne region. On the distant horizon can be seen the extinct volcanoes that form a backdrop behind the town of Clermont-Ferrand, the highest of which rises to 1264 metres above sea level. Our final view shows 26075, heading south with the 1401 from Paris-Bercy to Clermont-Ferrand. In the next section of the programme, we travel to Germany for a look at traffic on the busy route south of Würzburg and onwards towards Ansbach, which we will show in separate parts over 2 programmes. This is a major freight artery, with a good number of trains plying their way between the north of the country and the south. The maps here show the main route covered and the principal locations chosen on our journey south. Heading north towards the camera, we see 187073 and 187071. Belonging to Rhine Cargo, they are part of a fleet of 10 purchased in 2017. We think the train has come from Neustadt-Donau, where it will go forward to Hamburg after a short break at Würzburg. The time was 12 minutes past 8 on the morning of the 26th of June 2018, as 185417 heads south with intermodal train DGS 43155 from Köln-Eiffeltor to Verona in Italy. Passenger services on this line are largely confined to local trains formed of Class 440 units that operate mainly between Würzburg and Treuchtlingen. Unit 44301 heads north out of the station here at Winterhausen. Four minutes behind the unit was 185076 on train EZ 51754 from München to Gremberg. Another 5 minutes and it was 189281 that was next to appear on a very lightly loaded München to Rotterdam intermodal. (185-530), currently on hire to TXL Logistic, is seen in charge of train DGS 43109 from Hannover to Verona. (440, 002 and 012) depart the station, forming the 906 departure for Würzburg, the 0725 from Treuchtlingen. We now move south and to our position in the village of Genotzheim, some 20 kilometres to the southeast. A convenient overbridge in the village offers a good vantage point for both directions. Heading north on this container train is 182519. Travelling south is 152082 on train GA 52869 from Cielzer Yard, Hannover to Ingolstadt. This is a delayed KTE 62828 intermodal service from Verona in Italy to Köln-Eiffeltor. Austrian Railways 1116268 powers south in the opposite direction with a late running DGS 41821 from Rheinhausen to Ljubljana in Slovenia. Just 2 kilometres south, and we get this view of 185379, working mixed freight EZ 51893 from Mannheim to Nürnberg. Five minutes later, and it is the turn of Vectron Electric number 193830 on Har2 TXL Logistic, working train DGS 43949 from Wanne Eickel to Vienna Freudenauhafen. Intercity services along this line are fairly infrequent, with typically just 3 each way per day. Heading train IC 2083 from Hamburg to Berchtesgaden is 101016. A bit closer to the tracks, and we see 185373 on this Bremen Groland to Verona Pan-Europa intermodal shuttle. In the opposite direction is 187117 heading mixed freight EZ44962 from Linz in Austria to Gremberg Yard at Köln. Swiss Cargo's 482049 was hired to Metrans when this scene was taken on the 26th of June 2018. It rounds the curve hauling train DGS 99694 from Hamburg-Dradenau to München-Riem. (185-588) heads north with empty tanks from Neustadt-Donau to Hamburg. Heading south once more, we are near Ermetshofen, some 16 kilometres from our previous location. Heading north is 185527 hauling train DGS 95240 from Verona to Lübeck. Running around 90 minutes early is 185313 with train KT 41920 from Wels in Austria to Neuss in Germany. Unit 44301 is seen once more, working the 1241 from Würzburg to Treuchtlingen. Mixed freight EZ51187 from Cielza to München North has 145030 in charge. As you can see, the line is pretty busy for freight, where 4 to 6 trains an hour would be commonplace, depending on the time of day. A kilometre to the south, close to the village of Murlbach, we see 203001 belonging to track maintenance operator Leonard Weiss. The Loco was originally XDR's 110290, which later became 202390. "45 minutes later, and it was 185292 that was seen heading a southbound Wenzel logistics service, it being train KT 41921 from Neuss to Wels in Austria. In the opposite direction, one of the new DB Class 187 electrics, number 106, heads south with train EZ 51187 from Cielzer Yard, Hannover to München, carrying mainly Volkswagen and Audi cars. Two minutes later, and sister Loco number 131 is in charge of what we think is train EZ 51486 from Gremberg to München North. In the opposite direction is 101027 on train IC 2082 from Berchtesgaden to Hamburg. "182562 was on hire to Belgian private operator Crossrail when we filmed it here. The Loco is hauling a train of cement, probably from Herentals in Belgium to Augsburg. The junction at Steinach is our next location, as Class 642 unit number 114 comes off the Rothenburg branch with a service for Neustadt and onwards to Nuremberg. In the platform is a real blast from the past in the shape of 140-438. 440, 512 and 523 have arrived with the 1441 from Würzburg to Treuchtlingen, which offers a connection for the diesel-operated branch line services that also call at the station. As soon as the tracks are clear, number 14438 is away, hauling train DGS 63071 from Langenfeld to Gunzenhausen, where the latter is situated past Ansbach on the route down to Treuchtlingen. The train carries Henkel beauty products to and from the factory at Wassertrudingen. The loco is operated by the private company Bavarian Railways. Passing in the opposite direction is 182529 on a Verona to Köln intermodal. This view of the station from the north end shows 152079 heading north with a late-running KTE 62866 from Verona to Antwerpen. Five minutes later and 187100 heads north with this mixed freight from Nürnberg to Hamburg-Maschen. We will leave this line now and return in issue number 83, where we continue our journey south to Ansbach. Slovakia still has a good number of non-electrified rural lines. One of them is the line south from Vrútky to Zvolen via Horná Dubíňa. In this section, we sample traffic on the route between Pribovci Ragovo and Horná Dubíňa, first heading south from a point midway along the line, before then heading back north. Filmed on the 29th and 30th of June 2018, we begin the section at Torčianske, Teplice, in the late evening. Approaching the camera is the 1919 service from Vrútky to Zvolen, formed by rebuilt Class 810 unit number 813113. The modernisation work was carried out at the railway works at Zvolen-Jos. The 1902 service from Zvolen to Žilina is an example of some of the locomotive-hauled passenger trains seen on the line. The service is worked by locomotive number 754052. The class, built between 1978 and 1980, are equipped with a 1,975 horsepower 12-cylinder engine fitted with a silencer. They weigh slightly over 74 tons and have a top operational speed of 100 km per hour. This is a Zvolen-based machine, and together with its classmates cover 13 diagrams. (813-111) is another recent modification, and it is seen here 5 minutes later working the 1905 service from Zvolen to Vrútky. The following morning we managed this grab shot of 736010 and 008, working the 0813 freight from Vrútky to Hannover. (757s) share duties with the Class 754s, again out of Zvolen. Here 757018 approaches the crossing at Blazowski with the 0642 Ostrava to Banska Bystrica. This is the junction near Horna Dubinia or Betz, as 753082 passes with the 919 from Vrútky to Horna Dubinia. The date is a windy 30th of June 2018. At Horna Dubinia, several lines meet, and so it is a significant interchange location for passenger and freight trains. Coming off the line from Privitsa are locos 751204, 736014 and 024, with the 930 freight from Slovakia conveying mainly chemical and cement tanks. The track sweeps around almost 300 degrees to the north, and will pass by where we are standing with our camera. Train reporting number is 68321, which runs every day except Sundays. Within a few minutes of arriving, the train locos are off and are engaged in shunting the consist. Here other freight trains have arrived, one from Vrútky, which we glimpsed earlier, and another from Zvolen. Each will return to their starting points after exchanging wagons. Unit 813036 arrives, forming the 1031 service from Previtsa, which terminates here. Train 63820, the 1344 departure, is the return working for Slovakia, used on this occasion to conduct an engine swap with Class 736s in tow. The train is running around 2 hours early. (754.082) has been waiting patiently in the station to form a northbound connection off the unit that had arrived from Previtsa. The train is number 7516, the 1153 to Vrútky. Train 7547 is the 1119 from Vrútky to Zvolen and is powered here by 754036. After the Zvolen train has left, Unit 813036 works back to Previtsa. Heading north is freight train number 83500, the 0810 from Zvolen. The train consists of most of the wagons that were tripped across from Slovakia earlier by 751204. Train locos are 736024 and 014 and will run forward to Žilina. A connection south to Zvolen is made by freight train number 85301, the 1338 departure from Hornia Dubinia. The train departed early, and we caught up with it on the line south to Zvolen. Here we see it passing through the station at Kremniatskie Bani. The train loco is 736021. Note the guard's van behind the loco. We now move to Horna Dubinia East, where we see 757018 on a train from Bastra Bystritsa to Ostrava. At Diviaki, 757010 rushes south with the 1254 from Žilina. Heading north once again, and we are at Pribovce, Rakovo, where the 1519 from Vrútky to Zvolen arrives powered by 754082, which we saw earlier. One of the heaviest freight trains to run along this line is this Ostrava to Bonrivi working, which loads up to 2,000 tonnes. The train reporting number is 47815, and it runs Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays, and is booked to pass here at 15:53. Motive power is an impressive 756010, 004 and 006, with 736, 006 and 7 at the rear. Moving south, we are at Klášter as 757018 heads south with the 1442 from Ostrava to Zvolen. Sister loco number 757016 arrives powering the 1746 from Horná Dobyně to Vrútky. In the opposite direction, Unit 861028 arrives with the 1719 Vrútky to Prievidza. As can be seen, this line has a mixture of loco-hauled passenger and a variety of diesel units as well as a handful of freight trains, and has changed little over the years. This unit is based at Nové Zámky and would normally be found on duties between there and Prievidza. This working to and from Vrútky is probably the most north the units get. Our final scene is of unit number 813116, heading south near Jazernica, with the 1822 from Vrútky to Zvolen. We now move to the neighbouring country of Hungary, where we sample traffic on the main line between Budapest and Miskolc in the north-central part of the country. The map shows our two filming spots to the east of the capital city, Budapest. Two locations were chosen at Nagy and slightly further west at Ludas, as indicated here on our maps. Beginning at Nagy, we are just east of the station, at a quiet level crossing, as 630020 heads west with the 748 Chateau Railway to Budapest. Although the Class 630s are mainly used on freight, they also work some passenger trains, as we see here. Class 480s are Bombardier Trax P160 AC locos purchased in 2011. Here number 20 heads east with the 930 from Budapest. You never know what might turn up next on Hungarian railways. Take this for example, a new Class 187, number 522. Another eastbound now, in the shape of this track maintenance working. We were seeing around 6 trains an hour on this line, which is much better than we first expected. Number 431276 heads the other way. Rail Cargo Hungary is operated by Austrian Railways and sees trains being powered by Class 1116 locos. Here a train of empty coal wagons from the power station at Viszonta is headed by 1116031. Some of the local trains seen on the route are operated by Class 1415 units built by Stadler. Here number 105 leads a classmate in a westerly direction. Class 431s operate the majority of passenger trains on the line. Here 431-100 heads train IC 512, the 1030 from Budapest to Miskolc. Class 431s are also found working freight services. This is number 104 heading east at just before 10 to 12 on the 3rd of July 2018. Two minutes later and 6:30:019 also heads east on another freight. (1116:019) heads west into the station with a loaded coal train bound for the nearby Viszonta power station. Moving a few kilometres west, we are here at Ludas, just west of the station. Heading east is the 12 o'clock from Budapest to Château-Riorier, with 431-350 in charge. The Class 431 is an old established universal loco dating from as long ago as 1963, with over 200 units still in service. In the opposite direction is 431-108, with the 1126 from Nyíregyháza to Budapest. Ten minutes later, this local stopping service calls at the station, with 431-366 providing the power. Finally, we have this view of an empty coal train from Vyšonta power station, with 1116048 in charge. Anyone living close to the line with their washing hanging out may not be best pleased with the trail of coal dust in its wake. Switzerland is the next country visited as we look at the metre gauge Matterhorn-Gotthardbahn on the stretch of line to the west of Andermatt towards Realp, as well as some classic steam action on the old route via the Furka Pass. The line is situated in the central part of the country high up in the mountains, where our filming begins at a height of 1500 metres above sea level and where we eventually go to over 2400 metres altitude. The maps here show our filming positions, where the first part features the line to the east of Realp. We begin at the station at Hospenthal, just a couple of kilometres to the west of Andermatt, as DE442 electric locomotive number 53, dating from the early 1970s, arrives sandwiched within the 1111 service from Goeschenen to Visp. A half-kilometre outside of the village we get these views of the mountains. This one looking northeast towards the 3,000 metre high twin peaks of the Naya and the Jouffe mountains, seen in the far distance. Heading up the slope is the 0852 Glacier Express service from Zermatt to St. Moritz, as it winds its way up the 11% gradient. The date is the 13th of July 2018. Above where we are standing we get this view of the 2,989 metre Mittagstock on the right and the 3,203 metre high Winterstock mountains. The highest mountain on the left of this shot is the 2,957 metre Rienzenstock. Back to the trains, and descending the hill is 1984 built number 96. The locos, or as I should say motor luggage vans, operate services between Visp and Goeschenen. Our location here is in a lay-by on the parallel main road between Andermatt and Realp. During the middle part of the day, trains pass each other at Hospenthal, and so it wasn't long before locomotive number 108 came into view, powering west with the 702 St. Moritz to Brieg. Slightly further up the valley we catch number 106 heading east with the 952 from Zermatt to St. Moritz. SBB has been awarded a contract to refurbish and modernise the line's 9 class HGE 442 locos, with number 106, seen here, being the first to be admitted to the Bellinzona workshop at the beginning of October. The refurbishment will enable the locos to carry on working for another 20 more years. At the more peaceful environments of Realp Station, number 96 arrives with the 1211 service from Guschenen. The location here is also the start and finishing point for car shuttle trains operating to and from Oberwald via the 15-kilometre long Furka tunnel. This is number 101. The DFB have long since taken over the former Furka Oberalpbahn line that used to go over the Furka summit before the new base tunnel was opened. During the summer, the company operates steam services between here at Realp to Gletsch and back. In the distance we can also see one of their diesel shunters positioning stock prior to the next departure. The original line opened in 1925, but was closed and abandoned in 1981. The Volunteer Steam Railway began to reopen the line from 1992 onwards, before it was restored fully in 2010. Another shot of a car shuttle about to enter the base tunnel as we look down onto Realp from the Vrútky Pass Road. With the wind blowing steadily up the mountainside, number 92 arrives at the station far below us at Realp. For those interested in James Bond, the road here was used to film the car chase involving the Aston Martin in the film Goldfinger, starring Sean Connery. We head west now to cover the non-electrified rack section on the former Vrútky Pass line between Oberwald and Glech. We begin in 2014, when our videographer Maurizio Tolini was on hand to capture workings over a special rail weekend beginning on the 15th of August. This is Brieg, and 1914 built 260 number 9 leaves the station on a special working to Glech. The train is later seen on the Vrútky Pass line between Oberwald and Glech. This is one of 5 operational rack steam locos that regularly work on the line. Later the loco is seen on the return from Gletsch, dropping down the grade into Oberwald. With the line clear, it was the turn of number 6 to make the trip up to Gletsch. This is a former Visp-Zermatt loco dating from 1902. Named Weisshorn, it has an 042 wheel arrangement, and like the others is based at the line's main depot at Realp. Number 9 is quickly at the turntable, ready to be turned for another trip up the hill. Running around its train is loco number 3, visiting from the Chemin du Fer Blonay-Chambly line. The loco has a 260 wheel arrangement and was constructed in 1913. Also in use that day was HGM 44 diesel locomotive number 61, dating from 1968, and powered by a 708 kilowatt engine. Number 6 takes another train up the grade to Gletsch. This is Glech Station on the 13th of July 2018 as number 6 returns with a service for Realp. The railway here usually opens on the 22nd of June each year and operates regular trains for the following 70 days, with all services operated by volunteers. Back on the 13th of August 2014, number 6 is seen climbing the Vrútky Pass, with the bare rock of the melted Rhone Glacier in the left distance. The road up to the summit can be seen on the right. The line crosses the road just a kilometre later. These are some of the views that you can have from the summit of the road at 2,431 metres above sea level. Here you can see the road winding its way down the valley. Again, scenes from this area are included in the film Goldfinger. Down the bottom of the valley you can see the line crossing over the road, where we filmed number 6 just a couple of scenes before. This is number 4, a 1913 built 260, formerly operating on the Vrútky Oberalpbahn. It is about to enter the 1,858 metre long Vrútky tunnel. Another one of the line's 260s, this time number 1, again built in 1913. The loco is resplendent in blue livery, with matching coaching stock, and climbs up the Realp side on the approach to Vrútky Summit Tunnel. As the train disappears from view, we would like to thank you for joining us for this edition of European Railway.